All right, Abby and Aubrey, this is your YouTube channel. I'm your grandfather. I'm your grandfather, Robert Montgomery. We haven't seen each other in, gosh, almost 3 years, 2019. Neither one of your parents wants me to be part of your life. So I thought, well, since I don't get to be your grandfather, and actually you have another grandfather, I think his name is, I'll have to look it up. I've never met him, and I don't think you've ever met him. Your mother, Chelsea, will not allow him to interact with you because, from what I understand, he divorced Julie, probably when Chelsea was 15, and she's been kind of pissed off ever since. But my impression of your mother is that she's kind of a pissed off person anyway, but that's just my feeling. You love your mother. You should always love your mother. That's just the way it is. But I think his name is Wayne. He lives somewhere in the area, but I guess I'm off on a tangent. So what I'm doing is I'm creating this YouTube page so that in the future, when you two say, hey, I wonder what our grandfather Montgomery was like, since I don't think you remember me and I don't think I'm ever going to get to see you again, not without trying. Now, don't get me wrong. I have tried to see you repeatedly. It's just not working. I've asked your father. I'd love to come to your birthdays, Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's. I'd like to drive up and visit. I live in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. But it's been met with just complete silence. So I don't want the situation where as years go by and you sort of think that I'm a disinterested grandfather, that you say, geez, why wasn't my grandfather Montgomery ever interested in spending time with us? Well, it was simple. I wasn't invited. I wasn't allowed to. Your parents, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, don't believe that grandfathers are important with granddaughters. I think it's really sad. It doesn't make any sense to me, but a lot about your parents doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Your father's a very kind, generous, warm man. I will never dispute that. I would like to be able to say the same thing about your mother, but I'm not out to create a problem with your mother because she is. I mean, she has not interacted with her father, as to best of my knowledge, since she was age 15. I'm not really sure how old she is now. It's April 18th, 2022. So this is my chance to record a series of videos that hopefully will be left to posterity. So should there come a time where you say, geez, I wonder where my grandfather was, what did he look like, what did he sound like, what did he think, where did he live? I don't think either one of your parents will ever share that with you. So I thought, why not make a YouTube channel that you can have free access to with or without your parents' permission. And parents, when you're young, they're kind of weird. As you get older, they can still be kind of weird. But overall, they are your parents. And it's, some of them will try to control you. Some of them won't. But I thought there's no reason for me to never allow you to get to know me. And like I said before, your parents aren't going to let you know me for whatever reason. Your father doesn't seem to care. If he doesn't care, if he does care, he doesn't seem to care enough to do anything about it. I've asked him repeatedly to allow me to see you. Now realize I've done nothing to deserve being treated like this. Most people who know me think of me as a very kind, generous, warm human being. And when I did get to see you until about 3 years ago, which would have been the spring of 2019, we had a good time. Abby and Aubrey, you both liked me. I liked you. We had a good time. We got to do silly stuff together. But something happened in the spring of 2019 where your mother just decided I wasn't going to be part of your life. She actually walked off. I had driven up to visit you guys. I think it was on a Friday, sometime in 2019. I think it was in April. It was spring. That's all I know. And you two were out indoors. I said hi. And your mother, Chelsea, immediately pulled you outside. and you started playing with a garden. I guess you were growing a garden, which is fine. I love gardening. At least I used to. And so I, of course, walked out just to watch what was going on and chit-chat, see how things were going. And lo and behold, your mother just got up, took you two girls, got some clothes, and went off to your grandmother Julie's home. Now realize that you two were spending all your time with Julie Monday through Friday, pretty much. And she was your daycare provider. So I ended up sitting there at your house. Now, your mother didn't tell me she was leaving. She didn't tell me where she was going. She did not invite me. And she took you back to Julie's house. And I did not see you again for the rest of the weekend. So it was your mother's way of making sure that I didn't have time with you, even though she knew I was coming, even though Julie had spent the previous Monday through Friday with you. She had the ability to remove you from my presence and deny me and you two the opportunity to know each other. When I asked your father, his response was, well, I don't know. And he didn't seem to be interested in doing anything about it. Since that time, I have tried to be engaged in your lives. I've asked repeatedly to be invited to family events. Realize I've never been to your birthdays. I was at one of Aubrey's birthdays when she was really young, like 2 or 3. But other than that, I've never been to Abby's birthday. I've never celebrated a Christmas with any of you, or a New Year's, or a Super Bowl Sunday, or gone on vacation. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I don't know why. That's a good question. One you may want to ask your parents about as time goes on. But the purpose of this channel is not to give you a bad time about your parents. You got to live with them. You got to love them. You got to deal with them. You got to know what their personality is like. It's for you to get a chance to know me a little bit. Now, clearly the ideal way of knowing me is to spend time with me. But since I don't have that option and you don't have that option, you're way too young now to have any say in what your life is. I thought, well, maybe you'd like to know what my voice is like, what I look like. This is my hairy stage. I haven't shaved in a couple of weeks. So you'll see me sometimes shaven, sometimes hairy. It's not that it's particularly interesting either way, but that's why I do that. So I've set up this channel. I've named it the, oh God, what is it going to be? The Aubrey and Abigail, or Abigail and Aubrey? Nah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's Aubrey and Abigail Dingus YouTube channel. And this way, no one can stop you from looking at the videos I am creating that you might want to watch now or in the future. I mean, when you're 15, you may want to watch them. When you're 25, you may want to watch them. People change, people evolve as they get older. And you may genuinely have some questions. What was my grandfather Montgomery like? What did he look like? What did he sound like? What was he interested in? Since I can't spend time with you, there is no way for me to be able to convey that information to you. And your parents are certainly not going to convey that information to you. And I think it's a shame. I think it's fun to know where you came from, what your grandparents are like. I wish Wayne was part of your life, but your mother's made clear that's never going to happen. And it appears she's made clear that I will never be part of your life. So this is my second best choice for you to have some way of knowing me. And it's not my idea of the preferred way. I don't like doing this, but I know that if I don't do it, then I will be non-existent to you. Now, will this be helpful in the future? I don't know. All the stories I tell you may or may not be helpful for you now or in the future, but at least you have the opportunity and access to them. So that's the purpose of this. And this will be one of my first videos. It's sort of a test video. Kind of want to see what it looks like. And really wish I had time to spend with you. And as time goes on, you'll understand that I love bicycling, swimming, cars, firearms, computers. So there'll be more videos as they go along. It'll sort of be like the equivalent of having a virtual relationship with me as you get older. And you may or may not want to look at it when you're 15. God, I don't think I'd want to look at anything when I was 15. But times change. But like I said, there may be a situation where when you're age 20 or 25, or if you get married or you have a significant other or you have kids or whatever floats your boat, that they may say, hey, what was your grandfather like? And you'll say, oh, guess what? He gave us a lot of videos about who he was, where he lived, what he liked doing on YouTube. You can look at them or not look at them. So I love you both, and I will see you later. Bye.